Defendant's behavior in prison is shown by his master file. The Illinois Department of Corrections master file of the defendant shows an exorbitant 64 rules violations not typical of a model prisoner and are detailed above in this ruling and summarized now. In an institutional factors aggression list where 4 was a maximum level security setting, this defendant's level of aggression was a 12. The defendant was sent to TAMS, which was for the worst of the worst, prisoners who were a threat to other inmates and guards. He remained there for 4.5 years. The defendant repeatedly threatened the lives of other people. He threatened to kill the warden of his prison. He threatened to kill a guard. He threatened to kill a sergeant. The defendant repeatedly threatened to F up people. Different guards, his cellie. The defendant repeatedly did physically attack other inmates and guards. More than once, the defendant beat them in the head or in the face with a metal bar, punched someone in the face and head, hit someone in the face with metal cans, kicked them, and hurled violent, vulgar words at them. The defendant threatened to throw urine and feces on guards. The defendant threatened to burn the prison and did set fires in prison. The defendant used women to smuggle in money, smuggle in drugs, was found with women in the men's and women's bathrooms, and even fathered a child while in prison. The defendant used opportunities such as a job or a program to renounce gang membership as fronts to continue his illicit activities, as dealing drugs, passing messages between gang members, and sending out mail and envelopes marked legal mail so the contents could not be detected. In conclusion, the defendant's conduct caused and threatened serious bodily harm. There was no underlying legal provocation or justification for it. It was brought about by gang membership and activity. The defendant had a substantial criminal history before he committed these acts and was on probation when the acts were committed. This sentence is necessary to deter others. It is necessary to protect the public from harm. The defendant's acts showed an aggression and callous disregard for human life far beyond his tender age of 14. The defendant, now a 38-year-old man, has done some good, sensitive paintings, alleged poetry, and a desire to make amends to society. He obtained a GED and certificates in prison. However, these commendable acts toward self-improvement and the support he has received from well-meaning but uninformed persons are not sufficient for this court to alter his sentence, even considering his tender age of 14 when the crimes were committed. The defendant's repeated attacks on other people, his repeated threats to kill and hurt those around him, his continuous involvement in gang activities all show that the prior sentence was the correct one. The defendant is resentenced to a term of natural life in prison on count 1, and concurrent terms of natural life in prison on count 2, 30 years on count 11, 30 years on count 12, and 30 years on count 17. Just one moment.